gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a rest. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Ashley Stremme and Steve Post here, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. We are so glad you joined us. And Ash, I appreciate you filling in. I think Erin has a sick baby.
Yes, unfortunately, Kate is a little under the weather, so glad I could help her out. I'm sorry y'all get me today instead of Erin, but she's got to tend to her little one.
Indeed. So Erin's taking care of the motherly duties, and Ashley's babysitting the rest of us. So I think, I'm not sure, it might be a wash. Might be a push there. It might be a push.
I'm the lucky one.
Anyhow. Hey, thus far, there's no puke involved in your your element. Well, no, give us time though. Hey, coming up on the show, T-Mac and Mark Smith. So you never know what we're going to get into.
Anything's possible.
Exactly. Terry McCarl and Mark Smith are guests on the show, and we're just glad to be home. We love being on the road. Last week's show, we recorded it the week before. They were the Saturday night in Volusia, and we have a blast when we go to the racetrack. But man, I'll tell you what, there's times where it's just nice to be home also.
Yes, and of course, just to get home, they always talk about the Chili Bowl flu. I think there's like a speed week sickness. You come back, we were down there as well. We had the business we were running, and David slept for 2 days, I think, after we got back home. So it's
a physical thing, but it's an emotional thing also.
It is.
It's an emotional drain. I know my first week down there with Volusia and all the stuff at Daytona, one of my favorite weekends of the year, but I get to Monday and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yes. And I was just going to be honest, this year's Daytona 500, the atmosphere, the energy, the excitement was through the roof. And I just got home yesterday and I'm like, oh my gosh.
That adrenaline
crash. The adrenaline crash. There's so many good things happening in the sprint car world, so much good happening in the NASCAR world as well. And it's an exciting season, but there's just times where it's like, time out.
It's the beginning of the year, so we're extremely excited to begin with.
Yes, indeed. That's for sure. Time for our classic ink, screen printing, and embroidery hot topics. The big race of the weekend was the King of the 360s at East Bay. Thomas Kennedy won on Thursday night. Mark Smith won on Friday night, and Terry McCarl won on Saturday. Now, we're going to talk to Terry, and we're going to talk to Mark. What I find interesting about this is all three of these drivers finished in the top 4 all 3 nights.
It was an intense points battle for the weekend, absolutely.
We met, Erin and I, we did the Jackson Nationals last year. Looks like we're going back again. I love those people up there. The Minnesota Mafia, all of our friends up there. And at that race, we met Thomas Kennedy.
Oh.
What an amazing young man he is from Manitoba, okay? Sprint car guy, loves it. We met him. And then, like, the next night, he had a bad crash and ended up with a concussion, was out for like a month. So, I'm just happy to see Thomas Kennedy. And when you're running at East Bay with Mark Smith and T-Mac at East Bay, you brought your A game. So, we're going to have to catch up with Thomas Kennedy along the way here as well. What a great young racer. What a great young story. He is just vibrant. You want to talk about lighting up when you talk about sprint car racing. This young man does. And so congratulations to Thomas, to Mark, and to T-Mac. And as I mentioned, we will talk to Mark Smith and to T-Mac here along the way. There you have it, our Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics, classicinkusa.com for hats, for T-shirts, for hoodies, for towels, for whatever you may need. Maybe for your race team, maybe for some other sports team, maybe your kid's involved with youth athletics. Maybe for your corporation, maybe for your business. They just moved into a new headquarters.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Oh, my gosh. It looks great. I saw the pictures. I know I talked to Brian and the gang and Tyler and everyone at PRI, and they were in the middle of the move. Well, the middle of a move is no fun if it's a small move. You imagine all the shirts and
that time of the year, because everyone's gearing up. I mean, Classic Ink prints all our T-shirts as well, so they're moving. I'm asking them to show me this shirt, that shirt, and everything in between. So,
oh my gosh,
impressive.
Man! I'll tell you what. But the new place looks good, and congratulations on the new building for Brian and everyone at Classic Ink USA. You can find out more classicinkusa.com. We need to step away because when we come back, T-Mac is in the house. We'll talk to Terry McCarl next.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing. Proven speed.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today and pick up 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $28.95. Plus, get a $10 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after mail-in rebate and earn double O Rewards points with your purchase. Protect your engine with Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
This is Wing Nation on MRN.com. Since the Amish cowboy Danny Dietrich and me weren't available, here are Steve Post and the beautiful Aaron Evernham.
Welcome back. Thanks, T-Mac. We appreciate it. Everything is good. We are here, MRN's Wing Nation, and we are so glad you joined us here on the Motor Racing Network. Let's go to the hotline. Fresh off from a trip to Victory Lane Saturday night down at East Bay for the Ronald Laney Memorial King of the 360s, Terry McCarl. T-Mac's in the house. Hey, Terry, how are you?
Pretty good. Just driving through St. Louis.
Driving through St. Louis on your way back after scoring. If you're going to drive through St. Louis as well, you might as well bring a trophy through there, right?
Yeah. We got an ice storm in Iowa, so we hung out here last night and had breakfast with my good buddy Bob Elder from Elder Cadillac that used to sponsor that yellow 55 at USAC back in the day. So we had breakfast with him and hopefully get through this storm over in Iowa.
That's really cool. And well, a third King of the 360s, the Ron Laney Memorial. Just talk about Terry. First of all, I want to know how many kisses you gave away in Victory Lane. Steve Post is very disappointed that he did not get one because he got one from Jason Sides earlier in the week at Volusia. I just want to know how many kisses were given around that day.
Sides is trying to copy my signature move, huh?
Yeah, he did. He did, which he got me by the element of surprise, Terry. The element of surprise.
Yeah. If I'm winning, I'm kissing somebody. I don't care. There's Johnny Gibson can attest to that. I think he's still scarred by when I won Volusia a few years ago.
Indeed. Terry, tell us about the race on Saturday night. Tell us how you won that thing.
Just East Bay is such a fun track, and Alan Todd and everybody down there does a great job of making us feel welcome. And I've been going down there so long. I think '94 was my first year in Bob Weichert's car, and then I drove for a local guy named Kenny Mulligan a few years later and met my buddy Randy Burnett's Rock Landscaping. He's a family friend, a lifelong friend now, and a sponsor when I go down there. And his son Zach with Dynasty Stucco helps us out when we get down there, and it's just a blast. We've got a lot of friends, just like Jason and Danny Smith and everybody. We've made a lot of connections, a lot of friends down there, so it's like going home basically. And East Bay itself is, to me, it's always been one of my favorite tracks. It's so demanding. It's tricky. You see a lot of really, really good guys go there and struggle. And, when someone seems to get a handle on it, they're really fast. You can pass cars. It's just, it does a lot of crazy things. You really got to drive it and think about it. And you got to, more than anything, mechanic, get your car right to roll around that place. It's not like anything we run against, anywhere in the Midwest or around the country, anywhere really.
Well, you were the first winner in 2006 of when it became the Ronald Laney Memorial. Can you talk about Ron? I had the pleasure of my dad racing with him several times at Port Royal Speedway, and just the kind of guy he was and how fun and lighthearted he was, and what it means to you to actually stamp your name on that 3 times now.
Well, I kind of said at Victory Lane, a lot of these young guys, don't know who Ronald was, and fortunately I did, and we had a lot of fun together. He was instigator of a bikini contest at the Front Row Challenge one year, pretty memorable one. But I just remember the night that he won. He started up front, and he dropped way back. And again, the East Bay's so tricky. He came on late in the race and drove by me and Gary Wright, won the thing. And I think 3 hours later, he was still wearing that crown when we went to get paid. I always thought that was really cool. He still had that crown on. He's really proud to win it. And I just am fortunate enough to be able to know him, and his dad and his family were great people. And he had a cool dog, and like I said, he was a fun guy. And it was an unfortunate accident. I was there when it happened. So, we definitely enjoy winning it and then try to keep Ronald's name going.
That is really, really cool. It's interesting. You talk about the young guys. Well, I'm not a young guy. The name means something to me because it's a memorial race, but I never watched them, never followed them or anything. So I appreciate Ashley. I appreciate you sharing those stories because it does keep his memory alive and going forward here on that memorial race. Terry McCarl, a 3-time winner of it, 2006, 2016, and 2018. All right, T-Max, so now we've established you're in St. Louis. You're headed back home. What's the beginning of the season look like? Where are you headed to after you touch base back in Iowa?
Well, we've got Carson's car upstairs, so we need to go home, drop it off. Fan big car that Carson's driving, and Austin's going to bring his 17A. We're going to throw it. He's home getting it ready. We're going to throw it upstairs and head down to Texas to the Outlaws, and then out to Las Vegas. We're both going to run, and then we're going to have to come back. Normally I head out to California, but Austin's getting married on March 17th, so my wife's making me come back for that. So we'll come back and go to his wedding, and then probably just hit whatever we can locally around the Midwest once we get going.
Awesome. I have to ask, though, you guys made an appearance in Central Pennsylvania towards the later part of the year last year. Is there a trip to Pennsylvania in your schedule at all this year?
Well, yeah, definitely right now. I kind of go by the seat of my pants. Some of my sponsors get mad. They don't know my schedule, but I'm kind of a little operation here. We go where we think we can make money or wherever we think we can afford to go. But we love the Dirt Classic, and, TW Vance Trucking came on last year, and, of course, Chubby helps us get out there, and then got Austin out there racing last year too. So I'm really looking at maybe coming out for the Tuscarora 50 and kind of did a little, maybe not as long as Brian Brown, but come out for at least 2 weeks. We'll look and see how the schedule falls, but come out maybe for a couple weeks this year makes it a little easier to do if we hang out for 2 weeks and hit some of those bigger races. Those guys at Port Royal are doing such a great job of promoting that thing, and as a promoter myself, I really appreciate when people make an effort like that, and then hopefully if we can, guys like us can maybe support it from the Midwest to make it even more of a special event, I hope. But the Dirt Classic, those guys have same deal. They've done such a great job promoting it that I want to be a part of it and try to help it if I can. And it's frustrating. It's kind of a struggle getting around Lincoln. I won there years ago in Weiker's car, but we definitely don't have the same setup handle on the setup there as we did back then. But we want to get successful there, and we kind of struggled the last couple of years. So I'm looking forward to going back for that too.
Looking forward to that as well. Coming up later on this year, Central Pennsylvania, a hotbed for sure as far as we go. You mentioned you're a promoter, the Front Row Challenge. What did I see? Tickets went on sale a couple of weeks ago, Terry. Is there any left for our fans to purchase any?
I wish there wasn't, but yeah, there's plenty of seats left. And, got Mondays the 410, 20,000 win 410 show and the Race Saver 305s. And we brought Tuesday back this year with the ASPS National Lucas Oil 360s. And now we brought the War Series in with them. We got a lot of non-wing fans who'd like to see some non-wing racing. So, Casey Schumann and his wife and those guys have done a great job of promoting that thing, and I think they're really building it. So the non-wing World War Series guys will be with the ASS National 360s on Tuesday, too. So we got a full 10 days again. It's a mecca for any sprint car fan, I think. Come and find a place to camp. Oski has a great campgrounds and hookups and nice bathrooms. So as a sprint car fan, that 10 days is pretty unbelievable. You get to see something different really every night in 2 different venues. So I'm pretty proud of it, and I think it's going to get Tuesday back to being big. I love the non-wing cars. They're so exciting, and they put on a really great show at Oskaloosa. When Jesse Hockett won, I think it was probably the most exciting event top to bottom I've ever seen in my life, and every heat race was amazing, and every race was amazing. So I'm a big fan of the non-wing cars.
Always a good one to catch for sure. And Terry McCarl, the man who wears so many hats, driver, promoter, shovel builder. How many shovels have you been building with all that snow up there in the Midwest?
I only went up a few times this year, but Austin and Carson and a couple of their friends, Ryan Curtis and Tyler Curtis, went up and helped Jeff build shovels. He gets way behind there, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I'm so racers. We take about any sponsorship really, but I'm so proud to be involved with such a great company that it's not only made in the U.S. but made in Iowa, and it's something that most of that stuff's made overseas, and I'm so proud to be involved with the company. Jeff and Stacy have. Jeff invented all of that, and now people are all copying him and trying to get it made overseas. It's frustrating for him. He's worked so hard to come up with something so awesome. But anyone who has the shovel knows what I'm talking about. It truly is the best shovel out there. So it's awesome to be involved with a company like that and a product like that. I'm a good salesman, but I'm really a good salesman when I believe in something. And I just believe in Jeff, and he's such an amazing, hardworking, smart, intelligent human. And I enjoy going up and building them. It's a lot of fun for me. I guess I don't have a normal job very often, so it's kind of something different for us, but I'm just proud to be involved with Snowplow. They're great people and a great product.
T-Mac, punching the time clock. How about that? Boy, there's a thing. There's a phrase we never thought we would say. But, hey, Terry, congratulations on the win on Saturday night. I know there's more to come this year. As always, we appreciate your time. Everyone, make sure you support the Front Row Challenge when that comes up in August. But, Terry, thanks for the time, and safe travels as you make your way back home.
Thank you. Don't worry, I'll be bringing some of that Casey Lager back to PA. For the PA guys, love that Casey Lager.
Oh, you kidding me?
Must be close to taste like Yingling or something. I'm not sure, but they loved it out there. And the Postman, of course, loves anything, any food or drink for free. He loves it.
That's absolutely
that is a very valid,
right in my budget, right in my wheelhouse with the budget. That's for sure. Terry, thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me. Hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
There we go. That's T-Mac. Never a dull moment.
Never.
When we talk to T-Mac, and he is right. That KC Lager tastes a lot like Yingling. So it is. It's really good. So
I don't know. I don't drink beer, but I helped you load it in your car.
That's right. Exactly. There we go. MVP, helping me load the beer in the car. There we go. It's better than loading me in the car. So there we go. Exactly. Let's step away. When we come back, another one of the big winners down at East Bay, Mark Smith. He joins us next.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger. Crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa is proud to announce their feature exhibit for 2018, the Salute to Champion Brian Clausen. Open May 1st through October 1st. See the race cars Brian Clausen drove during his illustrious racing career and the trophies, uniforms, and memorabilia Brian amassed while driving sprint cars, midgets, Indy cars, and NASCAR. The Salute to Champion Brian Clausen exhibit, only at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, located in Turn 2 at Knoxville Raceway.
Improve visibility and save $8 instantly when you replace your worn wiper blades with a pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get premium blades that ensure clear vision, plus earn double points on this purchase during O Rewards Bonus Points Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Find Wing Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. We talked to one of the winners from down at East Bay. Let's talk to another guy that spent some time in Victory Lane. He's no stranger to Victory Lane down at East Bay as well. Sure. Joining us now, I'm assuming from the Mach 1 chassis shops up in Pennsylvania. Mark Smith is on the line. Hello, Mark. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We are doing great. Now, Mark, what is there about East Bay and you and Victory Lane? You own the key to that place, it seems like. What's there about that track and you that seem to hit it off so well?
I don't know. I've gone back there every year with the same setup. Actually, this year went back with the same car we won with last year, and it just seems to work. I mean, like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
It's pretty impressive because we talked with Jason Sides about this with East Bay. It's very unique in the sense that you have to know about the tides that are changing. And that's something that you really don't have to deal with in central Pennsylvania. How have you wrapped your hands around that?
Well, I got onto that a few years ago, and as soon as I get down there, I always get a tide chart on my phone, and you just kind of watch it, and you can kind of tell, you know, what the track's going to do just according to the chart, and then you can kind of watch how much water he puts on during the day, because sometimes he won't put as much water on, probably because he's watching the tide chart too, because if he puts too much on, it'll get too wet and it won't the track won't ever come around. But it's just something that I've always done, and you kind of hear it from everybody else, when you race there as much, and just kind of a little trick we learned down there. So everybody else listens probably gonna get onto this now too.
Sorry, I just
Tide
gave
charts,
the
yes.
secrets away.
Tide charts
That's all right.
Mark, actually, the win at East Bay, while that's what we're talking a lot about, a couple weeks before that, you were up at Bubba Raceway Park and you wore him out there a couple of nights. How important is it just to get a couple of wins out of the box, to make sure that the rust is knocked off and everything else? How important was that? I think there are 3 wins already this year, and we're still in the month of February.
Yeah, we do. We went up to. We actually spent 2 weekends at Ocala. We ran with the All Stars the first week, and then the second week we stayed with the USCS 360 tour, and we actually did pretty well with the All Stars. We had pretty good results. They don't really show by your finish. We ended up 11th on the first night, which we were going for second. With 4 laps to go in the first night, and I spun out. It's kind of driver error, but you get that stuff out of the way now, and then it actually worked out for us later in the week. But then we had a third and an eighth, but and then 2 wins. So we had a pretty good. I blew the cobwebs out before we got to East Bay, and I'd just like to congratulate Terry. I didn't get a chance to talk to him down there afterwards. Is just his crew at the car, but I want to congratulate those guys on a good win down there.
No doubt.
Really, really cool. Mark, is it, coming down and being able to race down there this early in the season, obviously getting behind the wheel, getting laps in is always a plus, but is it hard coming back home and then having a month-ish off before actual racing in Pennsylvania starts?
Well, not really. It blows the cobwebs out, and it gets you, gets your timing and stuff set and down. That's why I like to run the 410s, because you're kind of at a timing's a little quicker with those, and then when you get back into the 360, it kind of slows down a little bit, and it helps you, kind of be a step ahead of the rest. And but when Lincoln Speedway starts this coming Saturday, so we don't really get a break once we leave Florida.
Indeed. Very, very quick. Mark, of course, your business is Mach 1 chassis. My timing walking around the PRI show, I walked right into a conversation a year ago, I guess it was, with you and Bob Baker from the Hall of Fame. And this year's Hall of Fame car is a Mach 1 chassis. What does that mean to have your car be the Hall of Fame car, that they're raffling it off and towed around the country and showed off to everybody?
Well, it means a lot, because, I don't have cars spread across the country. We're a pretty small shop, and it's just it's an honor to actually have them ask me to have a car, to donate a car, and all the proceeds go to the museum, and if that's how we can contribute, that's it makes it better for the museum. It gives them money, and it's just an honor for us to be able to, to do something like that, and gets our name out to the West Coast, where I don't have any cars or anything out that way. We're starting to trickle into the Midwest, but that'll give a chance to somebody, if they're interested in looking at our stuff, they'll get a chance to look at it out there.
Nice, really, really nice. It really is, and I know our friends out there really appreciate you participating in that as well. Mark, it seems like we always talk to you around this time of year, because we're always talking about an East Bay win. We know your schedule is usually very diverse across the board. We certainly wish you the best this year in all of the ventures with the chassis and with the racing. And thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And I just want to thank Optilumen LED Lighting. They actually made that trip possible for us to go down there to Florida. They're an LED lighting company, and they're a local business here in our town. And I just want to thank them and Mach 1 Chassis, for helping us make that possible.
Nice. Good to take care of those people. We appreciate you getting that in as well. Mark, thanks again.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys.
There we go. That's Mark Smith, Mach 1 chassis. That is just old school racer right there.
It is, absolutely. You know, I grew up, him and my dad raced together a lot, so it's cool to still see him out there and now building chassis as well.
Can't figure out his schedule. He's running a Silver Crown car one night. He's running a 360, a 410, a non-wing traditional sprint car, but I love it. I love it.
Keeps him diverse.
Exactly, man. You pick up the paper, you don't know where he's going to show up racing.
He's a true racer.
But usually you see him in victory lane a bunch of times throughout the course of the year. So we appreciate Mark joining us here as well. Speaking of the Sprint Car Hall of Fame, we've got the birthday calendar and a whole lot more coming up. Stay with us. It's MRN's Wing Nation. We'll be back in just a moment.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery. Located in Greater Pittsburgh, Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back.
The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 27th year. Whether you're catching the Lucas Oil ASES National Tour at tracks like Williams Grove, Skagit Speedway, Knoxville Raceway, Lucas Oil Speedway, or any of the 6 regional tours across the United States, you'll find the ASES Nation racing at a track near you. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Then see the full schedule, track-by-track history, updates, and more at ASCSRacing.com.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing. Sage Fruit has been a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the last 15 years and a proud partner of Wing Nation for the last 3 years. We love sprint car racing, and we are there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
This is Brian Brown, and you're watching MRN's Wing Nation on MRN.com.
Welcome back. It is great to have you joining us here on MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride out our strength. Time to look at our National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum birthday calendar. Monday, Rick Ferkel, Paul Pitzer, Mark Dobmeyer. Kevin Swindell has a birthday tomorrow, and I know he's been through some surgeries over the course.
Lately, yeah.
So we certainly wish Kevin the best on the recovery from that. Frank Riddle later in the week, Steve Campbell, Steve Beitler, Saturday birthday, the newest inductee into the Hall of Fame. I talked to him down in Florida. Mark Brooks. Today, Bobby Unser, so we wish Bobby Unser happy birthday, and today would have been the birthday of Tony Willman. Tony, a 1992 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. The Milwaukee Dutchman is what he was known as, or what his nickname was. Born in 1907 in West Allis, Wisconsin. Soft-spoken, rarely talked about his accomplishments, well-respected, but when they dropped the green, he'd go up top and run the cushion like you would not believe. Started running in the 60s, didn't run a lot, the 26. The 30s were because we were dealing with the Great Depression. Yeah. We didn't race a lot. Rough numbers, hundreds of wins in the Midwest, wherever we went, multiple championships. 1941 was having a great year, 31 midget wins before a crash in Thompson, Connecticut, took his life, as with so many of our Hall of Famers. So today we salute Tony Willman, one of the great stories you'll find in turn number 2 of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. Coming up this week, Thursday, Terry Gray joins us on our MRN Wing Nation Weekend podcast presented by Hefner Racing Products. And Saturday, batten down the hatches, Danny Dietrich is on our Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. And let's see, we're hoping for good weather for the posse for Lincoln.
Right, yeah.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
Doesn't look promising, but it's the icebreaker, so it can go either way.
Exactly. We've got racing in Milton, Florida with USCS, and the World of Outlaws are in Texas. So we're really,
there.
Oh my gosh, it
has begun.
It is upon us, that's for sure. And it is going to be a great, great season in sprint car racing. We appreciate Terry McCarl for joining us. Also appreciate Mark Smith.
Mark Smith,
Brain
yes.
Fade.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. As they are celebrating their success at
And
Volusia.
he just had a new baby.
Indeed, yes. We forgot to ask him about that.
Absolutely, we did.
We forgot to ask him about it. Oh, well, there we go. Hey, we appreciate those gentlemen joining us, but more important than all of that, thank you for joining us here on MRN's Wing Nation.
You've been listening to Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. You can also find Winged Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.